Yeah.
Brandon, I told you not to lie.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to go back and look at that.
Well, then why are you telling him that? Jeez.
Well, I was
Liar.
going to, but you talked me out of it.
Just
Liar.
like your hand, you're just like the hand washing.
Yep,
And
just like that.
if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. You got to wash your hands.
I tried to tell you.
Tried to tell me. Well, I guess we should go ahead
There you
and
go.
get started.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, all you fine, outstanding citizens, hold on. It's going to be one wild ride. We are the Metal Block back in action once again. Bring you the best metal with the three best buddies hanging out and talking about what's new, what's old, and what's out there, what we're listening to at the moment. So, welcome all. It's great to have you again. Check out the Facebook page, check out the Twitter page. Make sure you visit social media, lots of good info there. Send us an email, metalblocktalks@gmail.com. If you want to give us some advice, if you want to give us some props, just say what's up, shoot us some music, criticize us. We'd love to hear any of it. So I guess with that, we have, as always, Brutal Brando and Harry Sachs with us tonight. So Brutal Brando,
What's up, blockheads?
Harry Sachs.
How's it going, everybody?
It's really
Break
scary,
the
Greg.
business.
Yeah, that's all I had. I was gonna leave it a mystery.
You were gonna leave it a mystery this time. Last time I called or I said, "How come you're not?" And this time I didn't let you.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, that's funny. Today we are going to talk about Enterprise Earth. Super special for us because we get not only the chance to talk about them and the new album that they released, but we also get to talk about the show that they have coming up in Houston. And it's a big deal to us because we had the opportunity, the pleasure, the privilege to co-sponsor. We're really excited about that. We've never done anything like this before. It's a great first time, great first step in the right direction to check out some music, to get involved in the scene a little bit more and to do something different so that hopefully we can bring more info to talk about to everybody and share with all the people out there. Thank you for everybody who's been listening, by the way. I've noticed some of our plays are up just a little bit. That's awesome. We appreciate you guys. We'd be doing it if there was nobody, but we love having somebody to listen to us. So that's awesome. We appreciate you very, very much. And without further ado, let's get into Enterprise Earth. So, who brought this one up?
I can't remember. What did we
Yeah, I
just
don't know.
decide to talk about it because the show's coming up? I don't know. They had a new album, so it would have come up regardless, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember, and so just thought I'd put you all on the spot. Guess what? Hashtag not
Chicken
me.
butt.
Well, how about this? How about Brandon? Why don't you tell us about the show? You were the facilitating member here to get us on that. You're really the man behind the show. So why don't you tell us about that, and then we can talk about the new album.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's being produced by Radiation Productions here in Houston. They also put on the Gorod show that I went to a few weeks back, and I think the previous Inferi show and stuff. So Jose from Radiation Productions has been involved with bringing a lot of these shows to Houston from these, national tours and everything. So I reached out to him and one of the supporting acts that we've talked about, and I saw with Gorod, the Zebellian Triangle, and I reached out to the venue, which is Scout Bar, just trying to get a hold of somebody, see how we can start getting involved with bringing music and metal to one of our three communities that we're residing in, and finally got a hold of Radiation Productions, Mr. Jose. He invited us to dip our toes in the sand or water, if you will, and get involved with this Enterprise Earth Inferi Crown Magnetar Tracheotomy Tour. And supporting it is the Zebellian Triangle and local Houston band called Vox Nostra. So I've
Cool.
not heard them, but I'm looking forward to it. I kind of started digging into them a little bit, but sounds pretty cool. So I think it's going to be a great show. We're very excited to be a part of it. And I mean, I'm looking forward to going.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I wish that Zumi and I could both be there for it, but that's super cool to be involved. I know we're just getting started here at the Metal Block, but it is super cool to finally, be able to say, hey guys, we're actually involved in a show, considering it's the inaction form of what we're all obsessed about and talk about every week. So definitely appreciate you getting us on there and communicating with Jose. Is that you said, Jose?
Yep. His name's
Radiation
Mr.
Productions.
Jose Campos at Radiation Productions, and hopefully there'll be some more collaborations in the future. We can get on. We could be a bigger part in the communities.
Cool. Did you say the date of the show?
Ah, yes. The date is May 14th. It's going to be a
Boom.
wonderful Tuesday.
Yep.
On a
Wish I
Tuesday.
could be there. Going up on a Tuesday.
Do what now?
Going up on a Tuesday. If you don't
That's
get it, you
right.
don't get it. It's a song.
No, I don't get it.
Yep.
Oh.
Don't worry about it.
All
People
right.
listening will.
That's all that matters.
That's right. That's right. It was a terrible,
Well-
terrible, like rapish type song that came out that was very popular about
Ah.
several years back.
Well,
That's right.
the
But this isn't
show
a rap
is-
podcast, as Zimmy would say.
That's right. Greg, you know me too well. You know,
This isn't an angry metal guy podcast. Let's get back to Enterprise Earth.
That's right. Well, the show is Tuesday, May 14th at Scout Bar. Doors are open at 6. The show is at 6:30. If you're in Houston, come on out and hang out. Say hi. I'll be there. Probably see me in my Metal Block shirt.
That's right.
Yeah, this is a national tour. They are in Europe right now touring also. So if you're hearing us in Europe, look for that. But this tour kicks off, I think, April 11th, and they're going all
Killer.
around the U.S.
It's a stacked lineup.
yeah. I saw a video of them playing in Copenhagen. Looked like it was going to be a cool show.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that too. Looks it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of good energy.
Yeah, they bring the energy for sure. Their vocalist, Travis, has really stepped in and does a wonderful job live. He kind of, whenever Dan Watson left the band, they had just released, I think, The Chosen, and they're about to launch on a big tour and all that. So that guy stepped up, hopped up there with the mic, and Dan is a very good vocalist, very revered vocalist in the deathcore community, for being the first and original vocalist for Infant Annihilator, which is obviously a huge deal. So yeah, just having to step up and perform every night and fill the shoes of that guy with a lot of fans are like hardcore Dan Watson fans and all that. So it's really amazing to see what he's done and the praise that he gets in the community. But he also killed it on this new album, so it kind of definitely really shows.
Yeah, speaking of the album, it's really a good one. And for anybody out there, the one we're talking about, it's Enterprise Earth, and it's called Death and Anthology. And
Yes, sir.
it was released, Brandon?
February 2nd.
Okay, so a little bit more than a week ago.
Yeah, it's about 2 weeks old.
Almost, yep. So this was one that, we've talked about listening to, especially after some of the show stuff started circling around. I think it was even before, though. Nonetheless, it was all kind of happening right at the same time. And it was really good because I got a chance to listen to it a few times. I know we've all kind of talked about what we thought, but Greg, why don't you tell everybody what you thought about it? What'd you like?
Yeah, like I was saying, Travis, it's his first album with the band, and I think he did a fantastic job. I love the vocals. The production is great. It's Gabe is a killer songwriter and guitarist. His riffs are just stupid ridiculous, and he's got a lot of like different stuff. There's some aspects that sound kind of black metalish, and I think it's Blood and Teeth that almost sounds. No, maybe it's not Blood and Teeth. One of them sounds kind of black metalish. And it's just cool to see the different styles that he'll incorporate all into one album. And then you got bouncy parts, and then you got straight death metal parts. It's just super all over the place. And I really, really dig his songwriting abilities. The drumming is awesome. What's the name of the drummer again? Let me look real quick. He's fantastic. Very impressed with all of it. It's very, very well made album. And I know I told you guys that Gabe lives kind of off the grid in this like trailer that he's built up into a home, a really nice little home for himself. Does a lot of recording, and I think of most of the writing out there. It's a lot of peace and solitude to definitely get some writing done. But I've seen on his Facebook, I'm friends with him on there, and he's a great dude, by the way. We will be having Gabe on the podcast here soon once they get back from their European tour. So that's super exciting to be able to talk about this album and then be able to chat with him and give the blockheads something else to look forward to.
Right.
But back to what I was saying, he does their recording, and I would see band members fly out just to go to his spot in the desert because it's like a recording studio on wheels, pretty much. And he's got solar electricity to it. And it's like really, really fancy and nice. But yeah, it's just super cool how they do it all themselves. And I'm pretty sure on the album it says mixed and mastered by him, maybe, or maybe it was somebody else mixed and mastered it. But I know that he has a strong hand in a lot of the recording for sure. Not the drums because they probably can't fit in there, but I think it's super cool all the DIY stuff that they get accomplished and still, are on the big stage with all these other huge deathcore bands. So I loved it. 2 thumbs up for me. I've been listening to it a lot. Good album.
Awesome. Yeah. That drummer is Brandon Zaki,
Yeah, Brandon Zachy. That's right. That's right.
just to let everybody know. And yeah, you're right, Greg. Everything that you said, spot on, man.
I was gonna say real quick before I forget the songs with Ben Dur and also Darius from Spite. Super good, super good. Also enjoyed the one with Wes from Louisville, but those 2 songs, both the vocal features are super top tier. So
Yeah.
sorry, I just had to add that.
No, the Reaper's servant with old Tyrannosaurus himself, Darius Tyranni. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Spite. That's pretty cool. I noticed that. That was one of the names that was definitely familiar to me. And there's several featuring on this album, like 3 or 4. So Brutal Brando.
Yeah, the last song, "Curse of Flesh," has Matthew Heafy on it.
Oh, it does. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
hmm
Cool.
Man, I love this album. I actually like it more every time I listen to it. Like there is so much to unpack and dive into in this album. I mean, it starts off strong. Well, I mean, it's got the intro track that it's got a really cool, I don't know, like symphonic vocalization effect
Mm-hmm.
going on. That's kind of cool. But when they jump into track 2, the first song, like the instrumental song on there, like "Face of Fear," I get so many hints of like just right off the bat. I thought of Dillinger's Escape Plan, followed up by some Chuggy Meshuggah, and then just like brute force, like just going at it. It's so great. There were elements to this album that made me think of the 2 I said, Dillinger's Escape Plan, Meshuggah. I heard some Slipknot a little bit, like made me
Yeah,
think,
absolutely.
especially on Spineless. The vocals, really made me think in some spots of some intense emotional Slipknot. The like Casket of Rust, and I think it's Curse of Flesh, where they kind of do a scream and then a backing track of someone like singing, so it's kind of like layered. And
Right.
man, I don't know if you guys listen to Cyborg Octopus, but they do that
Yep.
kind of thing. It's King of Ruination has it too when they're like in the chorus. That
Mm-hmm.
just vocal reminds me of Cyborg Octopus. And then
Awesome.
I was looking for it. I caught it for just a second when I was driving. I got distracted, and then this brought me out of my distraction. There was a riff or like a little guitar lick or something that reminded me of Solus. I
Okay.
mean, there's just so many things that this album made me think of. And not because it was like a rip off of those things, but because the sound just reminded me of it and the pure talent on this album. It's just
Yeah, dude.
it's really good. It's got super brutal parts and then it goes soft. I mean, Blood and Teeth almost has a ballad feel to it. Some of the guitar riffs have like ballad style heavy metal guitar solos in them. Like it just all around totally love this album. I feel like I'm not done listening to it. I haven't heard it all, even though I've listened to it like 4 or 5 times through in the last like 3 days. It's an hour long, and I feel like there's more to digest.
No, I feel exactly the same way. I
Yeah,
really do. I've listened to it, I think 3 times, and I still feel like there's songs that I completely need to go and revisit.
absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. This one is going to be on steady rotation this year for sure.
Hell yeah, and that's gonna make that show even more exciting than,
Yeah, it really
doing,
is.
the work that's gonna go into it and all the excitement of that alone. Yeah, you're gonna really have a good time with that.
I'm very much so looking forward to this show, and I mean, I was excited that we were going to be a part of it, and then, I started listening to this on February 2nd when it came out. I just kind of gave it, a few spins here and there to check it out, but other good stuff was coming out too. So it's kind of hard to just narrow it down to one. So I'm glad that we assigned it to ourselves this week because I'm really glad it didn't fall through the cracks with us.
Right.
Zumi, what did
I
you
know
think?
that. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, man, it's hard to say, much more than what you guys have already said, just because I completely agree. Each time I listened to it, it was better. I listened to it about 3 times as well, all the way through from front to end, and I was pretty lucky because I was able to get it in pretty big blocks too. I wasn't just having to listen to a song at a time. I was able to listen to like 3 or 4 songs or more
Cool.
in a setting, and so I was really able to just sit and listen and one of the things that sometimes I've talked about is how great these bands are that we're reviewing, but it's hard to differentiate sometimes between songs 2 and 3, or like honestly, even the new Cattle Decapitation song had some songs in it that whenever you were listening through the two songs together, almost sounded like one song because they kind of had the same tempo or the same feel to them. And so not with this album though. With this album, there are so many different changes, so many different sounds that you're getting to hear. You guys talked about it. You've got, your brutal death metal, you've got your technical death metal. You've got you've even got some like twangy guitar sounds. I can't remember.
The instrumental
Yes.
track. Yeah, I Divine.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's on killer song.
Yes, it is. It's so awesome. I'm glad you said that. That I meant to bring that one up.
So it's really cool to listen to all the different, and as you said, band sound, Brandon, you said all the different bands that you're hearing it, but yeah, it's just the influences that they've got, and they're able to take all these different bands and even a little flair of their own to create their own style here of something that is done really good. It interprets a lot of metal, and it kind of takes you on a journey throughout a lot of different styles of metal, and it's really fun. Even the almost emo, screamo sounding stuff that they do from time to time, it fits. It's like it all works in the story that they're
I
putting
agree
together.
completely.
Even though it's not necessarily, actually, it may follow a certain concept. They all kind of do, seem to have a similar theme. One thing I noticed is it has a lot of anger in it. There's a lot of the lyrics that just make you think that somebody who wrote it or somebody who's singing it is mad.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
and the thing is it doesn't muddle any of the music. It like adds to it and just gives it an extra dynamic. And so anyway, I thought that was cool. But to be very specific, I really dug a lot of the different, I don't even know if they're samples. They're not really samples because they're unique sounds, but just a lot of the different ambient sounds that they would do that would almost sound creepy. And you know how like Vitriol would have those creepy tones with their guitar that almost sound like a kitty. What am I trying to say? Like
Music box.
yeah, like a music box or something that's all like broken, and so it just has this really creepy. They had a few ambient sounds that they put in the album that made it have the same effect on me. Whenever I listened to it, I was like, "Ooh, that's really nice." Spineless, I really like the piano in front of it. You throw a piano in front of some good metal, and you've got me. It's hard to mess that up whenever it comes to me. I'll listen to that in a second. And so Spineless started out with the piano. Casket of Rust was by far my favorite song. Like I caught myself even saying that out loud as I was listening to it alone in my truck. Like, oh my gosh, it's such a good song.
Is that the one that has a little bit of a black metal sound to it? I can't remember.
So this one reminds me in parts like Vulvodynia. They have the song Shadowy Descent
Of Gaia.
Of Gaia. Yeah, Shadowy Descent of Gaia. And there's that slower part in the song that's like boom, 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 or something. And they do something similar in the song Casket of Rust, and it has the same eerie feel to it. And the vocals are also kind of similar, but they're very like, I don't know how to describe it any more than kind of high, raspy vocals. And then it also had these, I don't know if you guys have seen the Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, hell yeah.
There is by the Dickies. The Dickies did the like main song Killer Clowns from Outer Space or whatever, but it has this like guitar riff that's like, and there's two guitars that are really harmonizing together very well in that riff. And whenever I heard one of the riffs, I thought, man, that immediately made me think about, because the two guitars are harmonizing in this riff, and it just made me think about the Killer Clowns, and how those were harmonizing. It was almost the same sound, It obviously wasn't the same riff, but it was almost the same sound that they were kind of getting. And
Geez,
so
you got a theme going here. Last week we had Ghostbusters, and now we got Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
oh man, yeah, you should have grew up. Man, everything was a movie before it was metal. So
I guess so. That works.
yeah, that song does it for me, man. Like I actually thought whenever I heard Spineless at first, and after Face of Fear, after Spineless, because it started out with Dillinger vibes for me too, Brando. But so I kept thinking, like, man, when's this album gonna peak? Because I don't know why, but I always try to pay attention for me of when it peaks. This one just kept going and going, and as I listened to it more and more, it had, it's like it peaked at different points for me for different reasons. So it's all really good, and I don't have anything bad to say about it either. So, I'm with you guys.
I have
No block
a
approved.
cool little thing to add about Enterprise Earth right now. Actually, Brandon, your hometown heroes, the Zebellian Triangle, their drummer right now is on tour with Enterprise Earth doing the drums for them on their European tour right now.
He is, isn't he?
He sure is. I just checked it on Facebook to make sure. But yeah, that's kind of cool. Small world type stuff right there. You know, that's also cool. I don't think we mentioned, we may have on a previous episode, but how the Zebellian Triangle is going to be on, I think, is it 5 dates with them throughout Texas?
3 or 4, yeah. Mm-hmm. They're doing all the Texas dates.
Super cool. Yeah, that's really sick. He's Houston, Austin, Fort Worth, and Lubbock. But I wonder, Brandon Zach A, I think you said the last name was. And I've seen that he's done a bunch of touring with Whitechapel. So I wonder if he's doing something with them right now, or if he just couldn't make it, or couldn't fit his schedule to go to Europe. But I've seen Enterprise use a couple fill-ins now on their tours, because I'm guessing it's a pretty big gig to get the opportunity to play on a Whitechapel tour. That's a massive level of
right.
huge big venues, big shows. So yeah, I've seen him fill in for a few there. So I wonder if the Zebellian Triangle drummer is going to be on the U.S. tour, or if it's going to be Brandon.
Good question.
So,
yeah,
time will tell.
Well, that's awesome. Anything else you guys want to talk about for Enterprise Earth? Greg, I noticed the same thing about the past member.
Dude, they've got like 20. That's crazy.
Yeah. 14.
Dang.
That's just my quick count, and I don't even know if that was so quick.
Serious.
Probably
and I guess Gabe is not an original guy. I thought he was. So yeah, I don't think nobody's an original member now. That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Everybody on here is from 2022. Vocals, bass, they're both 22. Brandon's 2019, and Gabe is 2017. That's crazy.
Yeah, it says.
I wonder how that worked out in the end.
It says former members formed the band in mid 2014. So
yeah, that's right. BJ Sampson. Yep, I'm friends with him on Facebook. That's right. He was a guitarist, and that's crazy. Wow.
I'm
trying to remember when we talked about the instrumental track, if I said the name of it, and if I feel like I said the wrong one. I might have said I Divine, and it's not. It's Accelerated Demise.
Okay,
yeah,
makes sense.
In case I said the wrong thing, I wanted to make sure I corrected myself.
Yeah,
I did say I Divine, and that confused me a little bit, because I thought there's vocals in that song.
Yep, it is not I Divine. That's one that starts off with the really awesome drum. I don't even know what's called what he's doing with that little groove in the drums. It's kind of slower, but it starts off that cool groove. Accelerated Demise is a twangy guitar, really cool drum and bass solo in the middle of instrumental track. It's track 9, Accelerated Demise. So forgive me, Enterprise Earth. I did not mean to get that wrong. Blockheads, don't shun me.
And that's also the one that starts out very Symphony X-y.
Yes.
Fast, with some arpeggios or something going on with the guitars. But, it reminded me of something a Symphony X or a maybe even a Dream Theater would do in a moment. So what song is it that we were going to play? Face of Fear.
Face of Fear.
Good stuff, guys. Real good stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know, what's exciting is what we even get to listen to next week after that and the week after that. You know, there's so many awesome things that are just happening right now, and Enterprise Earth is definitely one of them, and they are on the up and up, and super excited to see what they've been able to put out with this album, and for us to get a chance to listen to it and talk about it tonight. Very cool.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. Woo!
We'll definitely have a confirmed interview with Dylan Potts from the last 10 Seconds of Life, so that'll be something cool for the blockheads to look forward to. Hopefully,
Right.
we'll have that to the blockheads sooner than later. I don't want to make an empty promise, but that's something that works to be coming to you soon.
Yes. Lots of new stuff, and really excited about that. We've even got a QR code to our Spotify page, y'all. So, boom.
That is what is
Yeah,
up.
buddy.
So,
And it's not generated by Spotify, damn it. It's been made special, and it has the
We
logo.
and we
Gotta
made
be
it.
clear. Gotta be clear about that.
What were you saying, Brandon?
Well, I was gonna say there were few albums that released this past week, and I was wondering if either of you got a chance to check these out. I listened to a little bit of the new Spiritual Deception, Semite Mentis. It's definitely some tech death. It's pretty awesome. I was enjoying that, and I don't know. Maybe you saw the EP by Hans Grossman, Echoes of Eternity.
Right.
That's basically the closest thing we're ever going to get to new Necrophagus material. I mean, there's a few songs that I thought, is this Necrophagus?
Is that the same one that he was like doing the pretty much this song is it?
Yeah.
You know, he was like, is this Centrifuges or not? Is that the actual album that came
Yeah,
out?
this is yeah.
Yeah. So he's,
5-song EP.
I think it's 5, yeah.
Yeah, it's 5.
Okay.
It's 5-song EP, and there's a few songs on it that, I mean, you can tell he was going for, and it was Necrophagus. And the guitar work, the drums, all of it. The vocals even sound like it. It's phenomenal. It's really good. I listened to it this morning. It's really good. I don't know if you guys got a chance to check it out. It's short. It's only 21 minutes.
no, I hadn't. I didn't get to check out either of those bands, but I should.
I've been enjoying both of those albums as well.
Cool.
Go check them out.
Yeah, check them out.
Is it 906?
I think it is.
Yeah, I think so.
What does that mean?
So, okay.
I already forgot.
What time is it?
What time is it? So last week on the podcast, we asked what time it was, and it was the cue for a Clearly Canadian commercial. And you actually answered, it's 9:06.
Damn right. That's right.
So that's what Brando meant whenever, for everybody out there, Brando sent a text to us earlier this week, and he told us.
That's right. That's right.
And Greg was
about
like,
that.
what does this mean?
Well, you got to explain the joke if I'm going to be, laughing at the joke.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But the thing is I didn't get it either until Brandon said, when we asked if it was time to do the commercial, Greg said it was 9:06. And I was like, oh, yeah, he did. I remember hearing that now.
See, that's definitely one that would need an explanation.
Yeah.
It just stood out to me when I was reviewing the episode once you made it available. And like I heard Greg, I didn't notice it when we were recording, but I noticed it when I listened to it. I thought it was funny.
All right.
Yeah, Betty.
Here we go. In a place where the thirst for adventure knows no bounds, there exists a beverage unlike any other. Introducing Clearly Canadian Sparkling Water, a cosmic concoction that'll tantalize your taste buds and quench your thirst across the stars. Imagine a universe where every bubble of burst with the essence of glacial drops captured from the farthest reaches of the galaxy. Clearly Canadian is blended with the purest H2O, creating an electrifying spark of carbonation. If you're navigating the asteroid fields, exploring alien worlds, or embarking on an epic space odyssey, Clearly Canadian is the perfect companion for your cosmic journey. It's the fuel your body craves as you venture into the great unknown. So, why settle for the ordinary when you can experience the extraordinary? Dive into a universe of flavor with Clearly Canadian, the unofficial beverage of interstellar explorers everywhere. Because when you're conquering the cosmos, every sip should be out of this world.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Yes.
That was great. Love it.
Good job.
Love it.
So,
Dude, that's good shit right there.
I'm running out of ideas, boys.
No,
that,
you're doing
Greg?
good. What?
Have you reached
No, I
out to
haven't
them?
talked to him yet. I need to send him something like that. I need to be like, go to 38 minutes and 42 seconds in and hit play.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we should do. Is tell them where it's at
On
you
all
know?
the episodes.
Yep.
You hear
yep.
that? You hear that? Coming for you, clearly Canadian. We're coming for you.
We're coming for you.
I mean, this is pretty. That's pretty damn good promotion. You know,
Yeah, it
that is
really
damn
is.
good promotion. I think they'd like to hear that.
Maybe we should just send
They
them an
better.
invoice.
I'm gonna try to screen record that and post it on their Facebook.
Yeah, that's what we need. You could
Do
you
it.
could do
Yeah.
your text to talk.
My what?
Your talk to text. Sorry.
Yeah, I could, dude. I can pump it with that. I'll crank it out for him.
Yeah, you just hold it up to the podcast and it'll like text everything or write everything that
Dude, my talk to text like says the F word now, and it says like all these like slang words that I've got going on. I'm like highly impressed by it. I can just talk normally and it like nails it. It's great.
Nice.
Yeah, speaking of all this artificial intelligence, we've been playing around with some of those logos, and so it's been a lot of fun. I sit for hours now and try to design logos or just find art that is cool that we could use for the podcast or
Oh,
for
yeah.
any music that we put out. So yeah,
Well, speaking of AI, since you brought it up, I've been seeing a bunch of shit talking in the community this week about a band called Hour of Penance. Have you guys ever heard of them?
Yeah.
They put out an AI album art cover, and boy, metalheads are very upset because I mean,
really.
there's a lot of artists in metal, and everyone's very, very upset that they didn't actually, choose one of these well-known millions of metal artists, that spend so much time on all their paintings, and that's what they're saying is just they think it's BS, pretty much, that they're supporting the something like that's so important to all these metal artists, something like a cover of a big band.
I get it. I totally get it. The metal community is tight. We support one another.
It's a very artistic scene,
Yeah, and I mean, like we've mentioned before, what other genre of music has that many subgenres? There's no other, and it's just because metal has such a big, breadth of exposure. So I totally get why people are unhappy, but I'm gonna paint another picture. You've got a really good musician out there who has not a lot of money and finds a way to put some material out for people to listen to and happens to use some AI to put some cover art out so that it doesn't have a big X in the spot where the album art goes because file wasn't ever uploaded or something. So, I definitely see two purposes for it.
That I think is totally acceptable. And if you're just trying to like get your name out there and get by and all that, as opposed to like a big signed band that can pretty much get any artist they want to,
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're just, trying to put out a freaking little EP that you wrote yourself and you're on a budget and all that, I'm all about it. I personally don't care. I was just explaining the aspect of why I'm seeing all these very infuriated Facebook posts. But then Malcolm from Inferi weighed in on it, and kind of said pretty much what you were saying, Zumi, that it has its place in time, which it does.
Right.
I'm curious. This might be a stupid question. How do you know if it's AI or not? Like who?
There's ways to tell.
Yeah, there's just ways to tell.
So, a couple of things that I've noticed playing around with the image generators that AI doesn't like human hands. It can't figure out how our fingers look. And so next, and sometimes like the arm will be like blended in funny with, the body, almost like they didn't separate it,
Yep.
and so it
gets weird.
Yeah. Sometimes like some real weird stuff comes out whenever you type it, but the hands, always the hands, man, it cracks me up. I'm like, is that like 5 fingers and a thumb? Computers just don't understand our hands. So that's one big thing that I've noticed.
Well, if I stare at it long enough, I don't understand my hand either.
A bunch of weird letters will show up in a lot of the AI stuff I do.
That happened on mushrooms one time. Actually, it was acid. Sorry.
That's funny. But
I'm going to it right now. If you look at this, if you look up our penance, I'm checking it out like right now. It looks like exactly like some of the stuff that Zoom and I generated in the last day. You can just look at this and know, like, oh, well, that's AI.
What
It's
am
just
I?
so obvious.
Which hour of penance thing is it? What are we looking for?
Their most recent album, Devotion. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
you can't scroll more than one screen down without running into on their Facebook.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I was just looking at that.
Yeah, that right there is a pretty obvious AI. But yeah, that's the one that people are for some reason upset about.
Well, all right.
But there it is, just a little metal news.
yeah, hopefully, somebody has some AI artwork. It doesn't discourage anybody out there from listening to their music because, after all, they did put a music album out. So that's what I'm
Yes,
there
sir.
for the most part. So, good for anybody who's putting some metal out. I will check it out. I appreciate you. And for all the artists out there, hang in there.
There you go.
Yeah, there's a little clearly Canadian for you. There's a little AI talk for you. What else do we got, guys?
Well, next week I'll be happy to tell everyone about crypto.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, you got crypto to look forward to. I'm
Man.
jealous for that, man.
Jealous, dude. That is one group that I've really wanted to see, and they're just not coming close at a time that makes sense for me right now. So,
Brandon was talking about a show that popped up, Windrose.
Yes.
oh yeah,
They're doing a North America tour. Zumi, I don't know if you've heard of them, but I think that would be right up your alley, buddy.
They're hilarious.
It's some folk metal. It's dwarves like
They're like singing about being
yeah,
dwarves.
like Lord of the
like-
Rings stuff. Like I think one of their popular songs is called "Diggy Diggy Hole." They sing about mountains and mining and digging and stuff.
Diggy, diggy hole. Like,
Diggy diggy
so
hole,
funny.
diggy diggy hole.
That's
But they're
pretty
playing the
cool.
Diamond Ballroom,
Okay.
so might be
There it
something.
is.
I might go see them here. I know they're coming here too. I'm thinking about going. I think it's gonna be a really fun
Heck yeah.
show. But yeah, that
I'm
just
sure it would
popped
be.
up
It'd probably be
over the weekend.
hilarious.
You said that they're called Windrose.
Yeah,
Windrose. They've got a special guest on all their tour dates. It's a female fronted band. I kind of checked them out a little bit, like a little bit evanescence-y, if you will, kind of like that.
okay.
Uh-huh.
I did
And
not.
so it's going to be June whenever they come to OKC, and it is going to be July. Oh, 4th of July. What do you know?
Oh,
Yeah, you're going to miss.
America.
You got to take your little girl to see fireworks.
What are you talking? No, what are you talking about?
I've got Windrose, North America, July 4th, 2024 at Last Concert Cafe, Houston, Texas.
Flyer I'm looking at says April 7th. Says they're in Dallas.
Maybe
on
there's
April
two
4th.
different tours.
Interesting.
It's weird.
There's got to be two different tours, right?
There's got to be. What does it say for April 6th?
It doesn't. It goes April 4th, Dallas, Texas to May 4th, Austin, Texas to June 4th, Oklahoma City to July 4th, Houston. One every month.
Well,
That's
we're looking
weird.
at we're definitely looking at two different things because this one starts April 1st and ends May 4th.
I wonder
That's
if
crazy.
I wonder if their dates are wrong on here for some reason. That doesn't seem likely since it's their official page, but every one of their shows is like January 4th, February 4th, March 4th, April 4th, May 4th, June 4th, July 4th. No August, but we got September, October, November.
Hey Zumi, are you reading it? Are you reading it American and not European?
I'm reading American.
Yes! 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 Oh, let's fucking go! Oh, that is so good.
What's funny is the second he said that, I realized, oh, they're all.
Oh, yeah. That is so good that you realize that. Oh,
See what you miss whenever you
I'm walking in circles right now.
And we're still going. We're still going.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh wow.
So
Thank
April
God for that.
got the Diamond Ballroom, and looks like we've got April 7th in Houston. So,
That's so awesome.
but would you confirm that what I just said was correct? Brandon?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, they're all a month apart for some reason.
Well, guys, what would you do without me?
No,
wouldn't have-
I'm not. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
You wouldn't have that right there. You wouldn't have that laugh. So
Oh.
you're welcome, everyone.
Yeah, this should be.
Yeah, and so I think that's a high note to leave it on.
I think so.
I think so, guys.
Well, everybody out there, check us out, listen, give us some ideas, interact with Brando on Facebook. He's always asking questions, like answers questions. He checks all the time. So, Metal Block, over and out.
Later, guys.
See you, blockheads.